Is love enough? Now, maybe you believe that you're going to meet someone, you're going to fall magically in love and live happily ever after. You know, people will say, we're in love, that's enough. Now, I want to say the reality is no, love is not enough. Now, as a dating relationship coach, I work with people to create happy, healthy relationships. And you know, most people fall in love, they court each other. I love the word court. It's very old fashioned, but when you court, you do all those wonderful romantic things. You prioritize each other, you prioritize romance, adventure, all of those wonderful things that feel so good in the early days, right? But what does happen for most couples when the honeymoon stage wears off is they stop prioritizing those things. They get caught up in their to-do list, they get caught up in the things that they need to do, or they get so comfortable with each other that they end up taking each other for granted. And that is the enemy of happy relationships, and it's being complacent. Now, what the research has found is most couples will only seek help 7 years down the track when the problems are so ingrained. What I like to do with anyone I work with is give them the tools and the tricks to create the healthy relationships from the beginning, so that they're more resilient to deal with the things that come up. Because the real honest truth is, conflict in relationships is inevitable, right? When you get two different people living together, you're going to have differences of opinion over time. You just need to know how to deal with it. Now, as a dating relationship coach, I like to continually train, and I've done a lot of training with the Gottman Institute. You know, like I love the research they've done. I love the insights that they have. Now, what they did is they studied couples in a love lab for 40 years. And they looked at what works, what doesn't, from real couples, not from surveys, not from what people say, but from their actions. It was a bit like a bed and breakfast that people would stay in with cameras. They forget the cameras there and they behave normally. And the Gottmans coded all of their interactions. Now, with all of that data, they can predict with 94% accuracy which relationships will work and which relationships won't work. And it comes down to a lot of simple things. So I'm going to talk about a couple of those things in my video today. And I've been reading, it's a new book by John and Julie Gottman, The Love Prescriptions. Love it, highly recommend it. And what it is a love prescription that you can go and take that can heal you. That's what a prescription is. You go take it, it solves your problem, you're good and you're healthy. And they're simple things. And what they did find is a lot of the simple things are the things that make a real difference. Now, they did a control group of 130 newlyweds, right? And they looked at what they did and what they didn't do. And 6 years down the track, there was one thing that the successful couples did that made them successful, and they did it more often than the couples that were unhappy or who ended up divorced. And it was such a simple thing. And I'll tell you what it was. In a relationship, we will make what the Gottmans call bids for connection. So a bid for connection is you say something to your partner. Oh, come and look at this. Or, oh, see what this is in the paper. Oh, can I show you this? Can I show you what I've done? All of these simple things. Turning towards is when the other person responds. They look at what you're looking for, they look at the paper, they come and see what you've done. So the happy couples did that more often, whereas the unhappy couples and the divorced couples either ignored the bids of connection or actively turned away from the bids for connection, right? And what they found is the couples who were in happy relationships responded to the bids for connection 86% of the time. That's huge, right? No one's perfect. No one's going to respond 100% of the time because we're not robots, we're human, okay? But the happy couples responded to those bids 86% of time. The couples that ended up divorced or in unhappy relationships only responded to those bids of connection 33% of time. Now, it's a really simple thing to respond for someone's bid for connection, for attention, for you to see them. And those simple, small things, surprisingly, can be the difference between your relationship being good and not good. I hate the word good and not good. Healthy or very unhappy and unhealthy, and ultimately could end in divorce. So respond to those bids of connection to your partner more often than you don't. Now, another tip that they give in this book is saying thank you. Saying thank you often for the things that your partner does rather than taking them for granted. All of the small things that they do, take the time to notice that they're doing them. It could be that they unpack the dishwasher. It could be that they've picked up milk from the shop. It could be that they've hung the washing on the line. It could be that they've done something with the children that they wanted. It could be very simple things, and I'm thinking of the things from a woman's point of view, so there will be things that guys would really appreciate in the flip side. So, go and notice what your partner does for you. And sometimes maybe they make you a cup of coffee every day and you've got into the mindset that you're taking it for granted because they do it all the time. Notice what they do and say thank you. Guys, notice what your wives or your partners do. Ladies, notice what the guy does for you and pay attention and say thank you to them for those small things, because often they go unnoticed and we don't realize how many wonderful things that they're doing. So pay attention to those small things and say thank you. Now, the third thing is to notice the things that you like about your partner and to give them a compliment on it. So often we fail to see the things that we like. It's really easy to get caught up in seeing the negative things. It's easy to get caught up in seeing the things that you don't enjoy. Think back to when you first met the person you're with and what you really liked and appreciated about it. Maybe you need to write yourself a little bit of a list. Write the things that you like about them and start to notice and give them a genuine compliment about those things. I find that as time goes by in a relationship, we fail to give the compliments and acknowledge those wonderful things like we would have in the beginning. And remember, it's the small things often that make the biggest difference in having a healthy relationship. It's not the huge big things. It's the little daily things that make all the difference. Anyway, I highly recommend the Love Prescriptions because it gives you simple, actionable things that you can do to improve your relationship. And again, even if you're newly seeing someone, building these habits into your relationship will make a huge difference in the long term and can save you problems. So that's it for me today. Thank you for listening. My name's Debbie Rivers. I'm a dating and relationship coach, and I hope whatever you do today, it puts a smile on your face. Thank you for listening to me, and bye for now.